cross the line, off the top they hitting brick walls. We've been playing hard this whole game, but we bout to rush. Now it should be about that time the second gets to beating us. Front seven, that's a fact, and we ain't giving you slack. Beating on my chest after knocking down your quarterback. You ain't know, you're playing with some real defenders. Form tight, stance right, organized killers. All defense all the time, we don't finish last. When it's said and done, you'll hear it on the podcast. Front seven rush, they'll have a lot to say. It was fun, but we got more games to play.
Conquerors, Warriors, welcome into another edition of the Front Seven Rush Show. I'm Ben Singram. I'm a superstar, superfly producer, big time Bijan Kelly back.
Bam. What's up, can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. I can hear you.
Cool.
Yeah, I can hear you, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Just trying to get this situated. Yeah. I'm all right. So, I mean, you already know. Big changes on both sides of the family recently.
Right.
Had a grandma pass in December, and then my final grandma just passed yesterday.
Right. Well, man, our hearts go out to you, man. I know how that is. My grandma was my baby. You know, I mean, most people, man.
Grandmas.
Yeah, it's just a different. It just hits different, man. Once the grandma, you know, once you become a grandmother or grandfather, you know, you ain't really into the discipline and stuff like that. You normally don't discipline the child. You just, you know what I mean? You may, if you grow up with the grandma and the grandpa, you know, you get that. But if you with the mom and dad and you just come over to visit, you normally, you know, just let me see how much money in my pocket I can give you. You know, let me do this for you. Let me do that for you. Let me cook whatever you want, baby. You know.
Yeah, we probably had just about the same experience then, because she was like that, you know, support one. She would show up to everybody's things,
right,
and cook, and well, I mean, over time, of course, somebody else becomes the main cook. But yeah, she, for the longest time, was like that main person, right? But still, you know, would be like that support system, right? Whereas she's not necessarily raising you, but she's like another parent there.
Exactly.
And in a way, kind of raising you still, because she'd still discipline you, you know, growing up and stuff. And she'd be,
oh
yeah.
Yeah. You know, especially in her younger days, when I say younger, you know, 50s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
60s, stuff like that. You know, yeah. Grandma get that ass, man.
Yep. Yeah. She one of her favorite things, and I'm not gonna say favorite, like she just had favorite punishments, but I remember she would either, it would be grab the switch from a tree or pull or twist your ear.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know.
You will be amazed of some of the memories you have when it comes to grandparents, man. And I remember being a little bitty fella, man. Not more than about six years old. And one of the times that I remember my grandmother getting on, you know, actually whooping me or whatever, is you know, she told me I couldn't go up the street, you know, stay out in front of the house in the street, right? Well, my cousin them, you know, they was older, so they playing football. They throwing the football, actually. They weren't playing, but they was throwing the football up the street, right? And so, you know, my grandmother, she was inside the house, and she just kept looking out. She kept telling me, don't go up that street. Don't go up that street. And I'm like out in the like right in front of the house. And so, you know how when you throwing a football, you know, you start out kind of close together.
Of course.
Yeah. Then next thing you know, you don't got farther and far apart. Now you got to throw the football a little bit further.
Yep.
So to this day, man, I feel like my cousin them kind of baited me, because they was older. They had to be 13, 14. I was like 6, 7, right?
Yeah.
And so,
Oh yeah.
but
They
I
knew
just
what was
couldn't.
gonna happen.
They knew what was gonna happen, man. But I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't leave that football alone, man. I mean, if they throw it, I mean, I'd be less than a man not throw it back, right?
You were going for it too.
I was going for it. I mean, wherever they put it, I'm going for it. You know what I mean? And so for my grandmother, man, she started watching me, right? And man, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes later, I'm damn near up the street. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So hey man, grandma came out, man, and she came up the street and got me, man. I mean, that's how I used to do back in the day, BJ. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she didn't care who was out, who was around. So she
Yeah.
came and got me up the street. So cousin them got to see me getting it in all the way back down the street. And at that time, the switch was going bananas, man.
Yeah, bananas. Yeah, at that time,
Yeah.
full effect. There
Oh
was
yeah.
no one was gonna protect you from that one.
Nah, it just wasn't nobody that me and her, man. And I mean, I ain't had no bag up no how. So
Right.
I mean, I couldn't plead my case, none of that, none of that. I mean, all she said was, "Don't go up that street."
That's all she said, and that's all she had to say. Because at that point, when you saw her coming for you, you're like, ah, dang.
Mm-hmm.
You probably looked like, oh man, I am up the street.
Yeah.
Oh.
So she called me, man. She called, hey, called my name, Vint. Damn, I done got up the damn street.
And then so it sounds like you weren't a runner. You weren't the disrespectful one. I'm like, oh, I'm a juke. I'm
No,
gonna
no,
run away from
no,
you. Yeah,
no,
that's good.
man. I've only known one of them cats, man, in my lifetime. There was a runner. Do you know any runners?
Yeah. I had a few cousins that were runners. Yeah, for sure. For
How does
sure.
that work? I mean, because you gotta come back.
You gotta come back, and that's how it works.
So I mean, do they think that? Okay, I'm gonna let this. I ain't gonna come back to hopefully it's died down. Or I mean, what's
No,
the end game?
it never ended well for them because it was always a small space. It wasn't like they just ran down the street or something. I mean, if they did, they had to come right back because it was getting late or something. You
Right,
know,
right.
and, you know, and this isn't like a 14-year-old running. We're probably like 7, so you're
Yeah,
you're coming right back.
you gotta come back, man. I had a next door neighbor, man. It's crazy you said that. I saw on Facebook is his birthday. Um, Today, I believe, happy
Oh,
birthday, Elroy, dude named Elroy. Happy birthday, dude.
happy birthday, Elroy!
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he was a runner, man. I mean, he was a runner. I mean, it was nothing to be sitting watching TV with the blinds open, see him go by. I mean, top speed. He had, and he had some jets. You know what I mean? So
Phew, down the
yeah,
street.
I mean, he would go by top speed, and I was always curious. I never asked him, but I was always curious, like, what's your end game? You got to go back,
You
you
gotta
know?
eat. You gotta sleep.
Man, and like you said, he was young, so it wasn't like he could keep running and never come back and just get his own
Right.
apartment.
Right.
He's 8, 9, 10 years old. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
that's funny, man.
Never worked out for them. Never worked out.
I just can't see how it possibly can. Bodine, what's happening? What's up, fam?
Yeah.
Baby, lovely.
I don't know. Maybe they hoped like after an hour or so, or they go do whatever, like it would just be forgotten, or I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they just weren't thinking. But
Maybe they just wouldn't. They just,
like,
like you said, they just didn't want
yeah,
to face it at the time. But like Sammy said, if you run, it just get worse. I mean, you would think, you know what I mean? So
it
now
just gets
I was.
worse.
How about you? Was you a runner or you just?
No, I wasn't a runner. But I also wasn't one to get disciplined very often because I was one of the youngest. Of course, at the time I had enough older cousins and things, so I was like, I mean, I learned.
Yeah,
Like I
yeah.
wasn't doing what they were doing.
Right, 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 right.
I mean,
Okay.
I got my ear twisted a couple times, and yeah,
Ear
but
twist.
maybe pinched a few times. But I think I was spared from that switch for the most part.
You never had to switch, man?
I'm sure I did, but not enough times for my grandma that I could remember.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, you one of the young ones, man. You know, you shit, me and my mom, we damn like sisters and brothers. We 17 years apart. So I mean, I got what she got. You know what I'm saying?
Whew, whew.
Yeah.
My I think my dad, with his mom, they similar situation. They kind of grew up together, kind of
Mhm.
like that in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a whole different type of discipline, man. And now, that I've grown and you know have started experiencing life, man. I really feel like that's a strong reason why I think turned out pretty decent, and it probably played a lot into it, man. Just that discipline, just doing the right thing, not wanting to disappoint the grandparents. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Not wanting to
Really.
disappoint them, man.
Really.
I don't think it's a lot of that anymore. They were, especially under your age, not really your age, where they don't want to disappoint or they don't mind disappointing. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that. You know how in Japan, it's like a whole bringing honor to your family kind of thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think for sure I felt that in an American way of, you respect your, like, the name, you respect the family name, or you respect like your parents, your grandparents. It's like there's like an image every time you go out, and I believe the reason for that was because we were always told, when you go out, what you do reflects on me. So
Right.
I think that was repeated a lot back
Right.
back then. I don't know if that's repeated very much now. So
Probably
yeah.
not, man. Probably not. I mean, just thinking about that whole thing and death and stuff like that, man. I actually feel like, I actually took my grandmother's pretty well, and my grandfather's as well, man. Took pretty well because
Yeah.
I just knew that with my grandfather, he had cancer and all that, so I knew it wasn't no more suffering and stuff like that, man. So I was excited about that. It wasn't no more, no none of that. But I want you to think about this.
Uh-huh.
When that initial reaction is to when one of your loved ones pass away is show that real heavy emotion, which is sadness or whatever.
Hmm.
And then you would think about it. If you think about it and be honest with yourself, your grandmother would want you to, okay, get over it and go on with your life. You think about it in that sense, not in the sense that she's gone, she won't be here
Oh
anymore.
yeah.
You think about what she's thinking about by you knowing who she is. And this is kind of how I did it with my grandmother, man. The only thing I was disappointed in is I still had stuff to do that I wanted her to, in the physical form see. So I was
Hmm.
bothered about that because she was no longer in the physical form, and I still had some impressing to do when it came to her. You know what I mean? I want her to
Yeah.
still see some things.
Yeah.
So you think about it, but I thought about it like that. Like my grandmother was the type to be like, boy, you know, you get over that. You stop that and going on with what you need to do. Because when you have that type of emotion going on, sadness and stuff like that, of course it's going to stifle progress. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
So you
Um
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm actually in the kind of the same mindset that you said you were, because leading up to that point, she had lived for everybody, done everything, and in these last year and a half to 2 years, it was um it was a lot of pain on her side. So I was
Mhm.
actually not saying that I was wishing for it while she was in pain, but I definitely wanted to see her out of that. Um, and so I'm happy that she's no longer kind of
Mhm.
in that state, because it didn't seem like, I would have preferred her to be 100% healthy, but the types of things going on with her wasn't gonna reverse. So um,
Right.
you know,
Right.
yeah, it's so much better that she's out of that
Hmm.
versus, so yeah, I'm kind
Exactly.
of in
And
that.
that's how you have to think about it. And once you think about it that way, I mean, everything else it all changes, man. I mean, you'll be excited about it, and then you also think about the loved ones. This is what I have. This is what I had to do, or this is what I do. You think about, like I was thinking about my grandmother. Okay, now she get to reunite with my granddad. I know she loving that. You know what I mean? So you look at it like she get to hang out with her sisters again because all her sisters have perished. You
Yeah.
think about it in that sense, and then it just makes you smile. I mean, it literally, after me starting to think about it like that, like, damn, now she get to hang out with, Aunt Frank, man, sleep, da da da. And she get to see her, she get to get with her dude again, And
Right, right.
once you put it in that perspective, man, and you'll be like, ah, man, you know,
Yeah. Yeah, because everyone from their life, for the most part, isn't around.
right,
When they grew up, it's completely different circle, right?
yeah, yeah,
Then they become the oldest one in the family. It's like just whole complete. I mean, generations changed. So
right.
it's for sure. I mean, that reunion would be
Look at all the
crazy,
people she's
amazing,
reunited with,
right?
man. All the people
Right.
she used to hang out with, kicking with, party with, go to church with. She's reunited with them, man. Don't you
Yeah.
think she up there? She happy as hell,
Oh yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
know.
She's
So I mean, the only
praising and
thing,
worshiping. That's for sure.
yeah, what make her happy is the people that's still down here in the physical form.
Yeah.
You all get over this, man. Go and do what y'all need to do. I'm good. I'm good. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Yeah. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So you got a couple people messing with you, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eleven said you got your butt worse if you ran. Yeah.
Yep. You
Seven
did
said
get
if
beat
you
worse.
run, it'll make the whooping that much worse.
True.
Seven
Yep.
said ear
Same.
twisted. That's pretty. That's
Yeah, that's
petty,
petty.
BJ. You got off easy. Yeah. I ain't gonna say it out loud, but Seven said it for me. Uh the lover said, BJ, you got spanked from the switch.
Spared from the switch because
Spared
y'all
from the
had
switch.
CPS. I don't think they cared about that. Now they really care about it, but I was in that transition phase where you know
Yeah.
that wasn't an afterthought.
Sam said, if you haven't been whipped with switches, extension
Extension
cords,
cords,
water hoses, old douchebag cards, you ain't
douchebag.
lived a real young life. Damn.
He got the whole stove, the oven thrown in him.
Yeah, man. You have people all the time talking about they was whooped with all that type of stuff. That's clear abuse, dog. That's
Yeah.
clear abuse.
I mean, the switch was far, and then it did go into like hangers and extension cords. I've witnessed that, but yeah, I mean, there's always a limit, and when I would see, at least I'd say for my family, when I would see like different things being used, it wasn't like the intensity increased too. It's like, okay, it obviously hurts more, so you're gonna get hit less,
Yeah.
and it's just you make a point, there's a tier, okay, and there's a conversation. It's but I mean, you're getting beat with water hoses. I don't think they love you.
Nah, I don't either, man. I don't either. Sammy family just went to jail for that one.
Oh, Ooh, water hoses. Who grabs a water hose
A
and
water
hit
hose.
a water like? And I know what he's talking about. Back then, they didn't have these new threaded, extending water hoses. They had those green, plasticky,
Yeah.
thick water hoses. Like what the heck?
Yeah, I wasn't privy to all. I was kind of like you, BJ. I didn't get a lot of discipline like that because I didn't do
Mhm.
a lot. You know what I mean?
Hey,
I didn't do a
that's the
lot,
key.
man.
That's the
Um,
key.
but when I did, it was a traditional belt, you know, a switch. That's about it, man. A paddle, a belt, a switch, and a paddle. I can name three. I mean, those were the three weapons that was used.
You
Once
were in the
again,
paddle days. That phased out right after you.
yeah, I was in the paddle. I had coaches, man. So coaches got us,
Man,
and they used paddles. They didn't. They wasn't finna. They
man.
weren't finna work hard. That paddle,
Yeah.
man. That's a thick piece of wood.
Those teachers got y'all with those paddles.
Yeah,
Dang.
yeah.
Yeah, no, it was before me.
Yeah. See, when I was in school, the principal could get you. The coach could get you. The teachers could get you. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, now
They
today,
got
if anyone even looks at you, it's like, hey,
That's
even
what I'm
if you're,
saying.
yeah.
And that's why the doggone kids are in classrooms fighting their damn teeth, full blown fist fights.
Oh, yeah, that is a thing for sure.
That's
Oh, yeah,
crazy, man. I
yeah,
mean, we wouldn't dare do no crap like that, man. To get
yeah.
in a
That's
full
wild.
blown fist fight with a teacher.
Yeah, that is wild. That is wild. Sammy said you got whipped with what was available. Nah, hands were also available. I don't think the garden hose was an option.
Nah, I mean, and those hands kind of played out once you got
Right,
middle schoolish.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah,
Unless it was dad with big calloused hands or something. But
yeah. My
Farron
dad
said,
did
huh?
my real dad. He whooped
Yeah.
me. I remember him whooping me one time with a house shoe. And I think my feelings was more hurt than anything.
Oh
It was
yeah.
one of those flimsy, stick your feet in
Mm-hmm.
Walmart house shoes.
Yeah, that didn't
Yeah,
hurt you.
nah, not really. I think um, my stepdad used belts. He might have got me once or twice. My mom may have got me once or twice. I mean, I can count on one hand
Right.
the times. It just wasn't a bad kid like that, man. I didn't,
Same. Same.
did what I was supposed to do, and I didn't do what I wasn't supposed to do. You
Yeah.
know.
It was the key. It was easy if you paid attention to everyone else getting whooped.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, Farron said her sister used to hide the belt.
I don't know how that worked. I guess our parents
Ooh,
just had one belt.
ooh, and if they found that belt, man, they just be mad. Like, oh, you gonna hide it?
Mm-hmm.
I remember one time I was so guilty about something. I don't know what it was. I left a note and I laid out the belts.
Well, I wasn't assisting nobody with mine. That's
Look,
crazy.
so as you can see, I was a good kid. I don't know if I got whooped for that one.
Yeah, I mean, if you was my child, I probably would have been like, man, I'm not going. I can't even. Let's just talk about it, man.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man. Bodine said, "You get in trouble at school, you're scared to go home because you were in trouble again." Yeah, I remember that feeling.
Yeah, and see, but even with that, man, I would in class maybe, but like I said, the coaches would just take care. They wouldn't call it mom, man. You know what I mean? And my teachers, and this is well, I guess it's different when you in athletics, when you
Mhm.
in sports or whatever, because the teachers would call the coaches. They wouldn't call the parents. So I guess it's a different dynamic when you in sports. They just I'm gonna tell you, coach.
Yeah,
Coaches took care of it.
man.
So I guess the times I did was cutting up in school. the coaches, yeah, they got it in. Yeah, but I guess if you
See the
don't
comments.
if you're not in
Yeah,
that
that's crazy.
sports, then yeah, they
Yeah.
gotta call your mom.
So, back in the paddle days, I never asked somebody this, but parents can take it too far. Did the coaches, teachers, did they ever take it too far? The paddle, principals and all that.
Nah, man, they would. I mean, not as far as I was concerned. They give you three or four. You
Hmm.
know, the principal. And you got to think about it. He was a little short man, little short, fat man, chubby man anyway. So he could just do so much. Not a lot of upper body power.
Right, right. Okay.
That was not really any low, no hip action or nothing. But the coaches was ex athletes, right?
Whew,
So
whew.
and in my school, these guys they were stacked up. So yeah, when they wanted to lean on you, felt it. You felt it. You felt it.
And I'm sure they gave a little extra oomph to the beefier students,
Yeah, yeah, that
athletes such as yourself.
right. That and then depending on what you did, they
Right,
just want to make sure
right.
you don't do that no more. Whatever it was you did,
Yeah,
why is this English teacher calling me, man? You know what I mean? What are you doing? You ain't got to do no sitting there, keep your mouth closed. So probably,
yeah.
and then also it probably depended on what they was going through in their life at the
Hmm.
time.
Oh man. Whew.
Right. So
I like how you reenacted that, where you're like, what are you doing, man? Why is the English teacher calling me? Like, it's it really emphasizes how many parents there were back then, and that number of parents really dropped.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Yeah, it is, man. Which brings me to my next point, right quick, real quick. We ain't gonna dance on this long, man. When you're a mom, and I hope if anybody can hear this and hear my voice, listen to this. If you're a mom and you're going to pick your child up from school or football practice or baseball practice or basketball practice, make sure you dress appropriate. Let me tell you something, man. Nowadays, you can see, I mean, some of these moms, man, nowadays, some of these moms, man, will just be going to pick their child up, man, just dressed any type of way, bro. And this, I'm speaking on behalf of the kid. Because BJ, kids are cruel, man. They're cruel. And I mean, if you going up there and your mama is thick to death with little booty shorts on, picking up the son, I mean, he gonna get it, man. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He
Oh
gonna
yeah.
the next day he gonna. And when I tell you, man, I'm not even making this up. You can ask Sammy, Bodine, he's one of these cats I grew up with, man. These guys can be in the third, fourth grade, and if your mama come up there and she stacked up in third, fourth grade, they know, man, they gonna let you have it the next day, man. Look here, man. Your mama fine as hell, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's
Man,
that's the age too, right there. When
yeah.
you're already talking about that, or that's your first memories of talking about it. It's like,
I mean, of course, you lying for the most part,
yeah, of
but I
course.
mean, when you talking amongst your peers and your partners, you on,
Yeah.
football, you in the locker room, you football guy, y'all on the field. Damn, man. I mean, they gonna mess, man. BJ, man, look here, man. I'm telling Sammy, man, BJ, mama fine, dude. She came up here yesterday, man. She had some little bitty shorts on, man. I mean, this third, fourth grade, you talking about this, man? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. And
For
it
real.
probably doesn't come out as clear as what you said.
Nah, dude, man. I mean, look,
At that
I don't know
age.
about now. When I grew up, it came out like it's two or three grown men talking, man. I'm telling you,
Dang,
man.
dang.
But my point is that kids in general, man. Even if you're a little girl, man, and your mama come up there and they gonna let her have it, man. So
Man.
the moms, man, they really got to be conscious of that, man. Just I mean,
Hmm.
just Don't do that, man. Don't go up there and pick these kids up and you looking in a kind of way. I mean, even if you not attractive and you go up there and you ain't got yourself together, man, your kid got to deal with that ridicule. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got to deal with that. They got to deal with
It's
that.
harsh, man. Because you know what, BJ? Kids are brutally honest, man. They
Yeah,
brutally honest.
and the
And
mom's not thinking about, what the kid's gonna have to, the conversations the kid is gonna have to have after she picks him up.
right. And
Mm-mm.
see, the moms don't, but the dads, because I don't know how the little girls do it, but the little boys, man, they something different. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They something
yeah.
different, man. And they'll let you have it, man, till you crying. You know, you know, when they who mama is that? Who mama is that? You know, you come up there, man, and you just looking in kind of way. Just don't do it, man. Just be conscious. Think about your child.
Yeah,
Think
yeah,
about your child. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? And what they got to deal with when they go back to school the next day.
Hmm.
You know, it can be ugly, man.
Yeah, because I mean, you start learning how to make some comebacks around that time, but there's not many kids successful at making comebacks when it comes down to their mom, so
No.
there's a lot of broken feeling, a lot of hurt feelings
Yeah.
when when that conversation come around.
Especially when your mom not helping you out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? She's coming up there too exposed, or she
Yep.
coming up there looking a mess. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Man.
So you just gotta be conscious of that, man. That your child, kids going they cut up, they clown, they cut up, they do all these things. You know what I'm saying? I still remember, man. My mom come to eat lunch with me, and my mom was pretty, man, real pretty. I mean, still is very pretty, man. And little cat, man, he knocking milk over trying to sit over that by us, man. Look at him, man. We ain't even friends, bro. You know what I'm saying? Which I didn't have to deal with that because I didn't hear him say nothing. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
But my mom presentable, man, very presentable.
Yeah.
Don't go work
There,
in the
there's
bank.
the Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, there is more than one way to say something though. There's sure the straight up disrespectful ones, but they're the ones that are just like a little more quiet, a little more just sly with it. Just like, why are you talking to my mom? Why are you over here? Why are
yeah,
you like
damn, dude.
like don't you?
Yeah, yeah. But but I'm just talking about the ones who don't
Yeah. Oh yeah.
be
Yeah.
presentable, man, or be like I said, like they going to the club, man. Come on, man, you can't do that, man.
Man.
So what the love to say, little bro?
Um, the lovely said she went to a predominantly white school and the coaches were black. And they didn't approve of these black coaches paddling their white children, so they took paddling out of school.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
Hmm.
Yeah, I went to all black
Interesting.
school for the most
Interesting.
part.
Hmm. Yeah, I imagine that would happen. You know. Oh yeah, let's have paddling. Oh, I don't want you to paddle them. All right, let's get rid of paddling.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can see that.
You can't have Jesse uh, paddling Blake. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna happen. Jesse coming in there, big black ex-athlete, Blake little.
Man, they probably got some people thrown in jail for that. And when it was legal, talking about, oh, he paddled my kid. Look at him, like, like, dang. I'm sure there is some cases like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But let me tell you something happened the other day. Um, real quick, what the love to say?
The lovely said, and the worst is when men try to talk to the moms when they're out with their children spending time. Mm,
Oh yeah, she don't went somewhere else.
yep, completely. Oh man.
Yeah.
Depends on the type of kid you were. You were either sat there looking like, or you said something.
Yeah. I remember a lot of times with that, man. I mean, it was a couple times I gave the cats a real messed up look, like I could win. You know what I mean? I'm 7 years old.
Like you could win.
Like I could win, man. I'm getting to look like, you know what I mean? Like I remember specifically one time in Church's Chicken, dude trying, hey baby, hey man, hold up, dog. You
Put the
know,
gloves on.
man, that dude looked like he probably would threw me in the street.
Oh man.
You know what I mean?
Oh man.
BJ, check this out, man. I have to tell you this.
Yeah.
So the other day I was at the gas station, man, getting some gas, right? And so this young brother, man, was, how you on one side, he was on the other side, getting gas. And I really wasn't paying no attention. I was kind of looking at my phone, whatever. And so when right when I was getting finished, man, he got in his car and he drove up by my car. And he said, I mean, very respectful, man. And the little cat was like, hey, you mind if I ask you something real quick? I'm like, yeah. So he says, man, if you was 20 years old and you had $20,000, what would you do with it? And man, I just thought that was so outstanding, bro. Cause that don't happen, man. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure, he's looking at the car and all that kind of stuff. But for him to have the courage, man, and the respect that he had, it wasn't no, hey, it wasn't none of that. You know what I'm saying? Which that would have been
Yeah.
cool, but I'm just telling you how he did it, man. And he pulled up beside me, he asked me that, man. And I gave him what I didn't even hesitate. I just answered I just gave him, threw out some answers or whatever. And he asked me did I have a card. I didn't, but I told him I was, he find me on Facebook or whatever. I said, man, send me a message, man. And he did, man. Before I was down the street, good, he sent me a friend request, man. And I just think the little cat named Herb, man. I had never met him, but I can tell you one thing, bro. Everything in me know that this cat is gonna do something great, man. He's gonna do something great, bro. I'm talking about
Yeah.
just that little interaction right there, man, and how he came at me and the way he came at me and the question he asked. That little cat gonna do something great, man. And I'm just super impressed with it. Super impressed with him. Like I said, his name Herb, man. I can guarantee you, whatever he decide to do, it's gonna turn into something big. He's gonna turn into something big.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people will not think about that? And then how many people will think about it but not say something?
Mm-hmm.
And for him to just take that opportunity, because I know you weren't there forever. I know you weren't just, you don't take long to fill up gas. So for him to take that opportunity and just get like, he's like, I need this information. I need to, ask this guy who looks successful. Let me get, what I can out of him in this short amount of time. Like
Right.
that was the risk and for the reward. And if he keeps that up, like I'm sure you're talking about, if he keeps that up in his life, that is impressive.
I don't see why. I know nothing in me. He's gonna definitely keep it up, man. And the courage to do it, man, is what impressed me. You know what I mean? The courage to do it, because, and then the awareness to ask that type of question, man. That's just so rare, man. 20 years old, young guy. Most of the time, if they got their hands on that type of bread, they're gonna do some foolish stuff.
Oh yeah, I've seen it happen.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Man, very impressive, man. Uh, I just can't say enough about it. I thought that was awesome, man. And the thing about it is that I can tell he's going to surround himself with like-minded people.
Right. 100%. Because he's going out he's going out and he's got his feelers out. He's not sitting there just waiting for something to come along. Like, you would have never just started a conversation with him and ask, and like, and I mean, I'm not saying that you wouldn't have talked to him, but in that kind of way, just like, there's nothing you know, you probably wouldn't have even felt comfortable to just randomly give some 20-year-old advice if he was even 20. I'm just saying. But
Right.
like, just random kid at the gas station, you weren't just going to be like, "Hey, you want some advice on like finances?" Like, it wouldn't happen like that.
Never would have happened, man. So it's all him, man. It's all
Yeah.
him. He took the initiative. He had the courage. He had the awareness. He had all of these, great, attributes, man, to come up and do that. And the way he did it, man, was so cool, bro.
Yeah.
So cool. He wasn't threatening. I wasn't like, damn, none of that, man. It was, hey, can I ask you something? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I just thought that was awesome, man. And I wish more young cats would be that way.
Mhm.
I wish I was that way at 20. You know what I'm saying? So he had some intangibles, man. Wasn't even in me at 20. You know what I mean? Not like that with that type of initiative. I had different things going through my mind, my imagination.
Not many are, right?
Yeah,
20? What?
20. Yeah,
To
to do that.
even put that sentence together at 20, there's a lot of 20. What? Hey, successful older gentleman. If you were 20, what would and you had $20,000, what would you like? That sentence wouldn't come out of a typical 20-year-old,
Right.
you
I mean,
know?
20 grand, man. I'm putting some wheels on my truck. I'm doing this. I'm
Yeah,
doing that.
yeah,
And, he wasn't driving no monster. He was just, low key with it. And I could tell
yeah.
his mind is in the right spot, man. And,
Hmm.
I just think it's awesome, man. And,
Let me throw one more thing out there, just to give him credit. He didn't come up to you and ask you, "Oh, what do you do? How'd you get this car?" You
mm-mm,
know, oh man, nice duds, nice whip. You know,
none of
he
that.
he just processed it. Was like, okay, let me ask you for some advice.
Right. Right.
It's like,
Because he
man,
didn't know what I did. Um, but I think he just felt like, okay, let me just say, he looked like he moving in the right
right?
spaces. So let me just throw it out there and see what happens. And
Yeah,
you know, like I said, I gave him a few suggestions, man. Because I mean, once I get going, I get going. You know what I'm saying?
hey,
Uh,
yeah,
and 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 he was like, hey, you got a card? He wanted to end now. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
And I didn't have a card, but I told him, gave my name, and he, like I say, look me up. Now we Facebook friends. You know what I'm saying? And send me a message and da da da. And I messaged him back, and you know what I'm saying. But I'm extremely impressed with the little cat, man. And like I said, man, I
man.
just wish it was more young brothers like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
To
for sure.
to get out like that, man. Because like I said, man, you have to be a part of an inner circle, man. When you're trying to generate, have a vision and generate wealth and stuff like that, man, you have to run in similar circles.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna achieve a lot when the two or three people you run with not doing anything. That's just not how it works. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? You either have to, lead them on the sideline, you know what I mean, or something, or they'll have to get where you at. But if you're not the type, or they not the type to ride with you, you just gonna have to leave them on the sideline. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And
yeah,
you know,
yeah. People get left behind all the time
all
for
the
good
time.
reason. For good
Mm-hmm.
reason, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean it's nothing. It's really not personal. It's just certain things, certain ways I'm going in life now. I can't, we can't do some of the same things we used to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yep.
what I mean? We can't make some of the same choices we used to make. I'm making different choices now. And
Mm-hmm.
those are, you know, that's when you find yourself transitioning into, some different environments and stuff. Because once you surround yourself with like-minded people, man, things will just kind of open up for you. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time, most people like that, they share some of the same emotions, man. Some of the same way of thinking
Yeah.
about, progress and stuff like that. So, um, so you have to be around, people who think future, who think
Yeah.
uh, building, who think creating, who think, who's
And
vision.
that's for the ambitious folk, the ones that want to accelerate, the ones that want to get those results faster and excel. But then you got the other end of the spectrum that maybe just want to live, have a comfortable life.
Mhm.
Definitely do that. But for sure, those that are ambitious want to accelerate. What Vince is saying is what he's saying. I mean,
Yeah,
it's true.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, man, I just think, um, I think that wowed me so much, man, because I've thrown suggestions out to my son, suggestions out to um, my nephew. I've thrown suggestions out there to several different people, man, several different young people, and that's just a clear indication that you have to be in, you have to have a certain way of thinking before you take on some of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
can't get into it, and that's not really how you think.
Mm-mm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You,
Yeah.
it's cool because it's all the mindset, man. And you got to think about, you know, way ahead. Like when you're trying to generate wealth, you don't think about I need a bunch of money, or you don't pray I need a bunch of money. You see yourself doing things that cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
You will
You
see
you
that.
become you become right.
Yeah, yeah. You'll see it, man. I mean, you really vision yourself, doing some things that cost, a lot of money. I've seen you and I getting on the private jet. Private jets aren't cheap,
No, no,
but
they
I've
are not.
seen that. I've seen it, man. So because I've seen it, these are some of the things that's gonna happen. It's gonna, you know what I'm saying?
It starts with the mindset. I mean, and you don't need massive success to even realize that this is true. Just any type of success, if you look back, and that's why I believe what you're saying, because if I look back at things that I've been successful at, I either envisioned myself there first, or I just became that and accepted like this is who I am, and that's what I had to do mentally for it to actually happen. Or because there was never, not that I can think off the top of my head, there's never a moment where I was just like, okay, I want to achieve this goal and it's just gonna happen. Like no, usually I had to just see myself like, but how can I say, usually I had to do something that changed me, or I was changed to actually complete the goal, if you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Because it wasn't like, oh, I want to learn how to ride a bike, and so I just keep it in my head that I don't know how to ride a bike. It's like, no, I'm not. That's not what you think when you're getting on the bike to ride it. You're thinking, I'm riding. Like, you're
yeah.
becoming, you are a bike
Right.
rider even as
Popping
you are
wheelies, you
learning.
doing all this stuff. Yeah,
So
yeah,
so it's like that. I think it's very rare, like the lottery. I think it's very rare that you just pop into something. Typically it's a slope, and it's so gradual you may not even notice, but it's like you just become that.
yeah.
But I think it always starts here, right? Always
It
starts there.
always start there, man. And like you said earlier, a few minutes ago, you have to change your personality. Sometimes when you're not, some of the things are not going on what you're visioning. You have to change your personality to change your personal reality. You know what I mean? So, and your
Reality.
personal reality is your life.
Hmm.
So but if some of the things that you're doing ain't working, then you may have to go back and change your personality. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
once you change your personality and different things start happening, then that changes your personal reality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's simple, man, when you really think about it. But when you don't think about it, it sounds like rocket science. But when you really think about it, and you really kind of focus on changing your mind, changing your mindset, and you know, um, some people already have the right personality.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah. Right.
some people already have the right personality. But if you're wanting some of these things and you're yearning for, you know, money and you can't use words like "damn," I don't. And I used to have that bad, man. But I really wasn't saying like I don't have it. I would be joking. When you
Yeah.
use a phrase,
Yeah.
somebody like, "What's up, man?" I would say, "Man, I'm broke as a joke."
Yeah. You're putting your spirit. Yeah. Your yeah.
Although
Your
I
best.
didn't mean that,
Hmm.
but you
You.
can't you can't make those you can't say those use that type of
Yeah.
phrase. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And these are
Yeah.
some of the things that I had to work on. You know what I mean? I had to kind of change my personality up so
Yeah.
I don't never say that no more. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Never say that no more. And it's crazy, man. I mean, it makes me giggle because you know, until you really just focus on it and pay attention to it, you didn't know it was really a thing. But
Yeah.
it's definitely
Yeah.
a thing.
Right. It's like you look back and you're like, oh, I'm actually here now. I actually fully believe this thing that I once just thought, thought of as a dream, thought of as a
Yeah,
goal. You're like, oh, now I fully believe this. Like, and that's what it is, right? Perspective, belief. It's that mindset.
yeah,
Um, I mean, we were talking about grandmas earlier, and um, if they never believed they were grandma, if they never believed they were, that mother figure, even to children that weren't theirs, generations down,
yeah.
they couldn't have assumed that role. Um,
Do
that,
you ever wonder how grandparents could feed every kid in the neighborhood? You know how every kid in the neighborhood, and you think about even my mom, grandparents, your mom, they had a little bit, but they didn't have a lot. But they
yeah,
could make every kid that came over there, they could make sure they was full.
I heard stories of my grandma about that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
witness that because I think our generations are a little different, but I know what you're talking about. Kids in the neighborhood come over, they get fed and stuff like that.
They get fed, man. They get fed. And I mean, they could do that. You know what I'm saying? I think about my grandfather, man. He had 5 kids. And my grandmother worked, but she didn't really work like that, you know what I mean? And I mean, he took care of 5 kids, man. The whole house with just, with his just this is income. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Five
that.
boys. I mean, four
It's that.
boys and a girl, you know. I think about, things like that now, man, and I'll be like, damn, man, that is that's a major accomplishment, bro.
Oh yeah.
Clothes
Oh
and
yeah.
food and shelter and everything is in between.
Oh
And
yeah.
so and I think at that time he saw himself taking care of his kids. He knew what he had to
Right.
do. Yeah, and he knew what it took to make sure that that was taken care of, man. And
Yeah.
so I mean, very impressive to me. Very impressive.
That is impressive because he could have saw himself doing anything else. Oh, let me get some other women. Let me go party. Let me go find like the best time for myself. Right.
Yeah, I mean, but it's it's stuff like that, man, that you look back at, and it humbles you. And I just all our listeners that listen, man, sometimes I be railing on, man. But I really would like to see everybody, achieve whatever it is they're trying to achieve. And I think
Yeah.
it's very possible. I know it's possible if you just believe it. If you just see it, believe it. It's steps in between, but don't be afraid to take the steps. You know what I'm saying? You know, um, I think that well, I mean, I heard this guy say, and I mean, it made a lot of sense, man. He said you could either have a job, you can have a career, you can have a calling, right?
Job, career,
You could have a
call.
job, you could have a career, or you could have a calling. And the calling is what you're doing, and it don't even feel like working. You're getting paid for it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So my mom, my sister, me and my sisters, we got our mom house done. I'm talking about paint, new floors, um, upgraded some old furniture she had, made it look new. Um, and we hired this sister team to do it, man. And they did an excellent job, bro. They did an excellent job. And for me to have a conversation with them, you could see how excited they were to see the result.
Oh, I
How,
love that.
yeah, they was very excited about the ending result because they was like they was gonna make it, look awesome, and my mom gonna love it and y'all gonna love it and da da. I mean, and they
Yeah.
was just excited about it, man. And I mean, they getting paid for
Yeah.
it. And it's stories like that that really allows me to see, that's they calling. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? That's
Yep.
they calling. And
Yeah.
you never want to leave that calling in you. You never want to leave that calling, you know, um, you want to because God bless you with that. So you want to
Yeah.
put that out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your calling is, you want to put that out there. You never want to leave that calling in you. And it's so sad because it's so many different callings, great callings, man, that just went to the graveyard with the individuals.
I could be biased here, but I think callings usually always involve doing something that gives back, or it's some type of service. Um, because a job or career, I believe that mostly is always about you, but the calling part, what you're truly passionate about, don't care if you're making money with, but of course it's the best thing in the world if you are.
Right.
um, I, I could be biased, but I think for the most part, that is always something in service to others.
Yeah, it is. You're not by. You absolutely right, man. You absolutely right because just having a conversation with these ladies, they wasn't focused on the money. They wanted to see
Yeah,
how it made my mom smile. You know what I mean? How it impressed my mom. You know what I mean? How now she's getting some things in her life that she needed to get done anyway. You know what I'm saying?
right.
And that was the focus. That was the
Yeah,
focus. And so, what
yeah.
does people do? What do people do that get money, that have money? Most people that's wealthy and got money, man, they won't give it away anyway. They want to give it away. You know what I
Huh.
mean? They want to give it away. They want to help other people. They want to, you know what I'm saying? They want to give it away, and they want to give it away because they know how to get it. Now they know how to get it, so it's not a big deal to them. Like I can just get more money.
Yeah,
I mean, I can get more money.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So that doesn't become the focus. But it's like what you said, when you got a career or a job, whatever you're getting is just enough to take care of you and your family and your bills and stuff like that. But when you got a calling, man, you can build if you do it the right way, and you stay stubborn on the vision and flexible
uh-huh.
on the details, then
Hmm.
you can build that into generational wealth. But you know what I'm saying? You have to, but that's what the calling is. You just have to make sure you stay stubborn
Yeah,
on the vision, whatever that vision is, and flexible on the details, because a lot of times, you
Yeah.
know, we create stuff in our mind, but we don't know how to get to that point. So that's why I
Right.
say they flexible in the details, and then the money will just flow in.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of what you're talking about with like the grandparents being able to take care of everybody. I think because they were acting on their calling to take care of their families. Like callings are different for everybody, but you can tell by somebody's passion or just how much time they spend making sure this goes right. You can definitely tell, like,
Yeah,
where their intentions lie. I mean, I think callings come from people and their surroundings. I just think they come from just social things, like there's more doctors when there's more wars. There's more this when there's more that. There's more, like I could keep going with the analogy, but I think the doctors and wars is good enough. Like I think their callings change. I think callings come from place of servicing others. I think callings are definitely the most satisfying profession you could have in life. And yeah,
I think callings
yeah,
are a vision that you create in your mind from, who knows, maybe even a little girl or a little boy. You already, it's your vision to own multiple businesses, or to own interior design business, or to be a doctor or whatever. And even the guys who turn out to be doctors, even though that's a career, but like you said, they don't look at it as like they don't look at the money. They look at it like just loving to help people, just
right,
loving to make people
right,
well. You know what I'm saying? And then the money just happen to, and that's how you think. That's how you have to think about it. So you can have a career, but if your mind thinks about it like that, like most of this money that I'm making, I'm gonna get to this charity, or to, help find cancer, or whatever the case may be. Then instead of just thinking about when I get paid, I'm gonna go buy Bentley. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
That's just not how it works.
yeah,
At Miss Houston's, um, I get so much joy out of seeing somebody taste our food and just really, oh, this is so good. That's where the joy comes from. You know what I mean? Is the reaction from the customer
right,
that I'm just like, this is best snow cone I ever had. I just be like, I'll be on cloud nine. You know what I mean?
right.
So I don't really even think about the money. It's just the reaction that our customers give us is the reward. You know what I'm saying? But it just happen to come with money. You know. So
Happens to come with money.
happens to come
Happens to
with money,
come
man.
with money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You
and
can't get.
and not all of it is the most financially rewarding, but the truth of the matter is, if your calling is, like I said, taking care of your family,
Mhm.
you're gonna make it happen. The money's gonna come through, or some way of you taking care of them is definitely gonna come through,
Right.
because of that passion.
Bodine.
Bodine, oh, he said great knowledge for people to hear events. Keep the motivation movement going.
The lovely.
Lovely said, yes, the calling is doing what you're doing naturally, and you love doing it to service others. She also said, your calling is the gift that God gave to you, and everyone has one.
Yeah, I agree, man. I think everyone has a calling. If probably just 1% of people tap into it.
Yeah.
People just don't. They just don't tap into it, man. And which is
Yeah.
sad.
It's on the other side of greed, It's on the other side of, oh, I just want to be a rapper. I just want to do this. Like, it's on the side of, uh what do you want to do that makes you feel good? Makes you feel satisfied with your life, right? Versus what do you want to do to get this material thing or look this way, or. You know.
Well, see, when you concentrate on your calling, BJ, you have to. It makes you uncomfortable. People don't like being uncomfortable. People
Yeah.
like being comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going to work every day and you know and clocking in
Yeah.
and doing what you got to do and getting in your car and going home, you're comfortable. So
So
when you
comfortable.
yeah, when you're doing your calling, then you have to be uncomfortable in your space. You know what I mean? Everybody's not prepared to be uncomfortable in their space. You know, it's just a chosen few that is willing to be in that uncomfortable space to achieve whatever calling that they got, you know, generated in their mind. You know
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying?
The
So
people that put more responsibility on themselves versus what the actual situation may be putting on them.
yeah, you put a hell of responsibility. I mean, a lot of people don't want that. They don't want to be responsible. You
Yeah.
know, they don't
Yeah.
want that, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's too much responsibility, man. I don't want to be proud. You
And
know
it's
what I mean?
always what you put on yourself, because even taking care of kids, like, that's a great responsibility, but to become a great parent, that's the
Mhm.
responsibility you put on yourself. When
Yeah,
you work somewhere, to rise up in ranks, to become a great employee, that's the responsibility you put on yourself. You
right.
know, so it's like, yeah, yeah,
And all that's uncomfortable, man. People
uncomfortable,
actually don't like that, bro. People don't
uncomfortable.
like that. So look, man, we're gonna get up out of here, man. We want to thank everybody for joining us, BJ. Man, glad to
Woo,
see you
woo,
back,
woo, woo.
man. I'm glad to see you back, man. I think we had a great show. Glad to get to talk to you, brother.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, my bad.
oh, okay. And listen, this weekend we got Father's Day coming up. So I want to wish all the fathers, man, happy Father's Day. You know, don't beat yourself up too bad if you don't get what mom got, man. You know what I mean? Cause
Don't
y'all,
compare.
yeah, you can't do that, man. We know how it go, man. Yeah, I don't even know why they have Father's Day sometimes. You know what I'm talking about? You know,
Hey,
you,
I got a feeling this Father's Day is gonna be better for a lot of fathers. Come
and it
on,
might,
let's.
man.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
son, me and my son actually went last weekend, man, and had a meal, and he paid, and I mean it was great, man. It was great, and
Heck
but you
yeah.
know they do little skits on social media, man. It's so funny, man. I seen one the other day, dude, like, "Hey, Dad, come on in here, man. I got your gift." So the dad followed me. "Oh man, you got me a gift? Yeah, I got you a gift." He had this big old box, big old box with it. He carried it in two hands, man. So dad go sit down. He opened his box. There's a pair of black socks. And
One
dad,
pair, huh?
one pair of black
That,
socks,
that
man.
is.
This big ass box.
Ooh,
And he was
ooh.
like, "Man, this is all I get, man." He going on, "Man, y'all mama, they got your mama a damn car, and all I get is some damn socks." And so he was
Oh
like,
my gosh,
"Yeah,
fathers
happy
are done
Father's Day."
so wrong.
Yeah, man. The father's done dirty,
That
man.
that's the calling part right there. To be a father, that's a true calling,
Yeah,
because you may not ever get that, you know, gift like that. But the gift is in, you know, of course,
right.
the what you're building. So
This is crazy, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. I'm sitting here now and I'm like, damn, me and my sisters done got my mom's room, part of the house redone. Man, we ain't had a conversation what to give, pops.
not a single one, huh?
We ain't had a conversation about it, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Matter of fact, when I get off, man, I'm gonna call it. Hey, man, what we gonna do? I know it's for 2 days.
Can't do something too big, but can't
That's crazy, man.
could manage some dinner or something. A
Ain't
gift
that
card
dirty,
in 2 days. You could
That's
do a gift
dirty,
card in
man.
2 days.
That's dirty, man.
Yeah,
That's
that is
dirty.
messed up. That's messed up.
Yeah, that's dirty, man. When you think about it, dirty, man. Damn.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Anyway, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Y'all have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day, fathers, man. Y'all be safe.
Yep.
Stay cool. It's gonna be hot out there. Um, and look at Stampede, man.
Yeah, I
He
see.
come back. Anyway,
Look at
but yeah, man. We're gonna get up out of here, man, and we'll see y'all next week. Holla.